When I was making my first video, many misunderstood my argument saying I was talking without statistic or fact. Now I could show you statistic and you could show yours, but it would be an endless battle since there's statistic proving both sides of the argument. In the original video I decided to put them aside so that we can talk about why the mainstream audience, in my opinion, had lost interest in the VR. Me and many other, if I take an example on YouTuber like Moy Crial, this guy started quite optimistic on VR, making video and sharing excitement on upcoming game. And now let's see his reaction to VR now.
All I know is that it's VR only, which really doesn't get me excited. So they haven't shown anything, just that it's MetaQuest only, which I couldn't give less of a shit about.
The guy lost complete interest in VR. And you might say that's one guy, but we all know that if one person has this opinion, many others do. There's a video online that has 1 million views with 100k in like and show a meme of KSI being hyped for the game only to be disappointed in its VR exclusive reveal. It doesn't stop to those guys. Many other YouTubers show the same kind of disappointment and lost interest in the media. Jetro and him.
It looks good, and it makes me more mad at fucking VR. I'm sorry, no.
And you want it or not, YouTubers have many fan base that agree with them, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And not only that, but if you watch Summer Game Fest live on IGN, the chat completely lost their mind over the Arcane Shadow reveal, only to boo it and shun it upon the reveal of its VR exclusivity. Now, I never said VR was dead. I feel the need to specify that since many of you think otherwise. And that's misinformation and lies. Be better than that. Which is ironic considering more than half of the viewer are people that barely watch the first minute mark. So I come humbly to say that with most of you that wrote in the comment section, I disagree. I like VR and I personally want it to succeed, but there come a point where we need to understand that it isn't breaking mainstream as anyone would have hoped it have, especially with the people current regard upon it. Whether you agree with me or not on how many these people are, they are still there. And think of it this way, Street Fighter 6 sold 1 million in 3 days. Street Fighter 5 took 3 months, 1.4 million. So technically, since Street Fighter got even better sell than ever before, does that mean that fighting games are on the rise of mainstream? Sadly, no. There was once a time in the arcade that fighting games were worldwide and phenomenal, just like comic book, but it's not anymore. And that's what's happening to VR game. It's not because some VR games sell well that it will rise to the mainstream. New VR games are coming out and it's exciting, but let's not pretend that those games will live long enough to even appear in the 50 most sell game in Steam chart. You can look it up right now, no VR exclusive game. If you want to talk about how many VR chat players there is right now, I would tell you that this game can be played without a headset. And it's also currently trending on TikTok so that people can troll on each other. What I meant to say is that VR is a niche thing compared to what it once was, but it's not dead and it's not going anywhere. It's just that everyone seemed kinda disappointed to see a VR game come out. Thank you for listening, and I'm done with VR for now.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small, way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping